We are.
Me. Jonas. Okay, got it.
Got it.
Yeah, guys, like, yo, the quality. Nah, it's better. It's better.
Okay, I have it.
Listen. Guys, wait, I just realized, why am I named Tenchi? Hold on. Wait.
Wait, why is my name April? The freak? Oh, that's valid. Yeah, I can't change that.
No, I'm on the wrong Google account. Hold on.
It's okay. You're April for
Oh.
All right, cool. Bro, my bro, I'm about to ask you trash. Hold on.
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. So, holistic health is a wellness approach that considers the whole person, including their physical, mental, emotional, social, and spiritual health. It's based on the idea that all parts of a person are connected and that being unwell is one area can affect others.
So it's relatively accessible. Oh, yeah, it's relatively accessible form of healthcare, meaning that necessarily you don't have to go to a doctor's office to take care of your holistic health, such as with physical activity. You can just go outside or take a walk, per se, and you can control that yourself. It also considers not just physical health, but also mental, emotional, social. and spiritual, allowing for a deeper understanding of a person's health needs. And it focuses on helping the whole person, and providing overall wellness across various aspects of life, not just one.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, sounds good. So another reason why I would say that holistic health has been really easily applicable to my life is because it looks at everything. So I haven't really had to worry so much as about if I'm focusing on living holistically, then like it's going to take up too much of my time. Like no, it's actually something that you don't really have to worry about. Like if I'm living physically, then I'm not going to have enough time to like pertain to social health or mental health, but that's actually like the beauty of what holistic health is. And that kind of also ties into number 3 about how it focuses on the whole person. Because you're not just fixing certain parts of your life by living holistically, you're fixing everything. So I think we can get started on the pillars of what holistic health actually is. So we can start off with physical health. And I think for physical health, we'll have Demi dive into what physical health is all about.
All right, cool. So basically, physical health is just the foundation of holistics as well, or holistic well-being, as well as being physically healthy. And you cannot attend any of the other holistic health aspects without having some sort of physical health in your life. There are so many ways for you to build upon your physical health. Sports is one. Going for jogs is one. Runs or walks, anything that's active can really get you in a form of physical health. And eating a balanced diet. Some people always think that if you just work out, and then you eat unhealthy, you're just gonna be fit. But the diet part matters as well. You need to make sure you have a well-rounded diet as well as being active, and just making sure you have the overall balance between the two. Not that you should eat unhealthy and then work out a lot, or work out little and eat super healthy. You have to go hand in hand with both of them. And also incorporate a bunch of physical health into your life. It's really important. I could say it's helped me out a lot. I'm sure it's helped out most people as well. But I just think that physical health is something that needs to be incremented in everybody's lives every day, whether it be for holistics or whether it be for something else.
And to add on to your point about saying physical health is one of the most important parts of holistic health. Even after you go for a jog, or after you walk, or after you play a sport, oftentimes, at least for me, you feel a lot better after you do those things, which sort of ties into another part of holistic health. So that's the beauty of it. Like Sean said, it ties together as one whole person.
And that was for like concerning the physical aspect of holistic health. That's something that I've been doing for quite a while now. Like I've been playing sports. I think I started playing soccer ever since I was like 3, and that's something that I've kept up with my life for the past like 12 years now. Like I've been playing nonstop. But concerning like actually making the decision to start living holistically, that is something I started focusing on a little more recently. So like the past 1 to 2 years, which is when I started like paying more attention to my diet, what I'm eating, how much I'm eating, like trying to get in physical activity during even like however busy I may be, trying to get in physical activity. So like making time for me to like going to run in the morning even before I go to school, or if it may be even after school, or like just going up to the basketball court, like just whatever it may be, just having a schedule and having a plan really sets the tone for like anything else that you may want to do concerning holistic health. Sorry. And that brings us to the action plan. for physical health. If I was going to give you guys one tip about how to live physically healthy, what I would say is to just go outside, because going outside gives you so many options for what you can actually do going forward with holistic health. You can find a sport to play that's outside, you can go on nature walks, you can go on runs, jogs, just whatever it may be. Going outside is like the starting point for all of it. And getting into emotional and spiritual health, let's see what Riley has to say.
So, emotional and spiritual health is usually a topic that isn't talked a lot when it comes to holistic health. It's kind of tends to be a taboo topic. It's becoming more well known now, but we're just going to talk about it some more. So, emotional and spiritual health have many similarities, so they'll be grouped just to make it more simple. So, emotional health is your thoughts and feelings, and spiritual health is more in like the sense that it focuses on how we think and what makes us feel. So, emotional health is how we think and feel, and a sense of overall well-being, ability to cope with life, and how well we acknowledge our own emotions and those of others. And spiritual health is a sense of meaning, purpose, and connection to something bigger than yourself, and feeling a sense of peace and understanding one's values. So spiritual health it can be religion, it can be like trying to find like the meaning of life, things like that. Where emotional health is more, oh, like I'm feeling happy, I'm feeling sad, like this happened, so I'm feeling this type of way. The ways that you show your spiritual health and you grow in your spiritual health is you can read and study religious texts and have some self-connection to really know what brings you your peace and what you connect with personally. Emotional health, some things you can do is journaling some of your thoughts and feelings and participating in mindfulness activities. Just being mindful of what you're doing and why you're doing it, and really just going throughout your day, really thinking about each task that you're doing.
Yeah, I'm totally with that. And kind of just to add on, I think part of the reason that emotional and spiritual health have been parts of holistic health that are kind of like, I guess, brushed under the carpet, are because a lot of the activities that are included with them, they're kind of things that are already done in everyday lives. But like, especially with religion, going to church is something that a lot of people do. And when they think of going to church, they may not think of it as something that's actually also contributing to their holistic health. And I think that's part of the thing that may also hold a lot of people back from living holistically, because they may just believe that it's like not applicable to them. Like, it may just be too far of a reach for them to live holistically. But it actually is, like I said earlier, it's a lot more accessible than you may think. Alright, then let's hit the action point for this one. So yeah, like Riley was talking about, it's just important that you're connecting with other people and that you're not going alone on this journey. So, of course, religious affiliation, connecting personally, having those mindfulness activities that you can do at the beginning of the day, whenever you may feel, but just having something that you can do to connect with yourself, to like wind down, relax. It's really, really important to be able to do that. And does anyone have like anything else they may feel they need to add on about that?
No.
Right, y'all cool to move on?
Yeah.
Alright, sounds good. Okay. Well, let's hit social health. And last but not least, let's have Niall talk to us about social health.
So, social health is the quality of a person's interpersonal relationships. It encompasses the ability to build and maintain positive connections with others while also feeling a sense of belonging. It's about how well you interact and connect with people in your community and life. So social health is just all about making friends, maintaining relationships with family, stuff like that.
Um, and social health, another thing about social health, a lot of people do it without knowing. Like when you go to school and you talk to your friends, you're benefiting your social health by just talking to someone, spending time with someone, and having someone to talk to when you need to talk about something really helps your health holistically.
And that really does go back to like the root of holistic health because quite a couple of these things you are doing on a daily, but the most important part that like I think is kind of the like the gateway between living normally and living holistically is actively learning how to do these things. So it could be like the difference between you just going to school and just like talking to your friends, just having a normal school day, and then you having a day where you go out to actively interact with other people. So this could be you walking through the hallway to your next class and you stopping by to say hi to someone you might have not talked to in a while, or that you may just been like interested in meeting. But taking the extra step is basically what holistic health is about. It's about you thinking, there's a difference between me thinking about doing this and me actually doing this. And that does kind of go into the action point actually about just talking to people because as the name states, it's social health and there's not really much you can do to increase your social health aside from talking to people. So anyone in your life really. So this could be your friends, strangers, like anyone that you see on the street, anyone that you may see on the store, like even if you're at checkout, old friends from old schools or like towns that you moved from, new friends, your family, like your grandma, grandpa, anyone, people in your class, like if you might have a group project, even if you don't have a group project, just people that you may see wherever you go in life, just talking to people. It really does help.
Yeah, and I would say like don't be scared to reach out. Like if you've been wanting to like talk to someone or maybe better your relationship with like a family member, like don't be scared and just like try and reach out and be social.
I'm totally with that.
Yeah, social health is really big. People have friends. Everyone has friends. It's a lie if you say you don't have friends. Everyone has at least one friend, and I think it's not. You don't have to be super social to, be someone that's enjoyable. People think like the class clowns in your class are the funniest people or the most social people, but sometimes it's not just that. It's just talking to people that you relate with the most. Try and join a club. Obviously, our club is HOSA, and I've met a lot of people through HOSA that I'm now friends with, and I never thought I would talk to before. It's just a lot of people that I wouldn't seem like talking, but because we had a connection and so we had something to talk about, I was able to socially interact with them, become friends with them, have nice interactions. And they're not, we have to say hi each other every day. It's just more so whenever I see you, I wave, or if I see you at a meeting, I wave. Just something like that. So just make sure to implement social life in, everyday things. Just whether you're going on a walk, you see somebody, just say hello. Just do something small. A small step can take a big stride.
And I'm totally with that, especially like for school age people. Joining clubs with people that may have similar interests as you is like a great way to contribute to that social health aspect, which is actually like, this is a HOSA stream, and I met every single person. Well, I wouldn't say every single person, but almost everyone that I'm on this stream with, I met all of them through HOSA, and like we've had experiences, we've had like unforgettable times, and I truly do all credit that to the drive that holistic health has given me to just go out, just live my life like it's the last day, and just live holistically healthy. There's really not too much to it. Just going out and living life to the best of your ability really kind of goes into what holistic health is all about. And I think if we're all cool with social health, we can move on to the last pillar, which is mental health. And if I'm gonna be honest, mental health, it's not easy to talk about. It's really not, because there's a lot of gray area with what mental health may be. People may have experiences that may reflect negatively concerning mental health, and it's it really is just difficult to talk about. So if anyone here wants to try to talk about that, I'll hand that off to you. But if not,
I feel like mental health is something that is easily overlooked, especially with people in high school or college. They get so stressed with the workload that it's easy to neglect your mental health. So the best thing to do for that is just to step back for a second, focus on yourself, maybe journal, just do things that you enjoy.
I agree with Nyala. And I also think that mental health is probably one of the most important aspects of holistic health because it really affects all the other ones. If I'm stressed out and depressed, I'm not going to go outside. I'm not going to go talk to my friends. I'm not going to want to work out. And I feel like a lot of people kind of just overlook it because they're like, oh, well, it's my mind, right? Like, I can't fix it. I can't change it. There's really nothing I can do about that. But it really affects everything that you do. And it's definitely super important to talk about and to learn about and to know what you can do.
and y'all know how I was talking about earlier about how physical health is like the only pillar that if you're not focusing on that it affects like all the other ones. Yeah, scratch that. Mental health is also part of that too. Because if you're not mentally well, if you're not feeling well, if you're not in a good mood, you can forget about doing anything else because we all know that the brain is the control center of our body. And if our brain is not where it needs to be at, if we've had a terrible day, just really thinking about it, if you just come home from like a terrible day, it's like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm probably not going to want to go out on a run and call out some of my old friends to say hi. And that kind of goes back to the base of holistic health. You really need to make sure that everything is in check. You can't prioritize some to let others fall. Everything has to be in check.
To add on to that, I would also say with social health, it can also play into mental health because let's say you have something on your mind, having a friend or someone that you trust to go talk to can greatly benefit your mental health as well.
Yeah. With mental health is a thing that most people don't really like to talk about. But it is something that really needs to be talked about because now during this time, it's one of the more serious and more common medical issues that everyone kind of deals with because they would rather not talk about it and end up doing something to themselves, or they would, try to keep it in, don't want people to see them in a different light. But that's really not the case at all. You should always try and find someone that will be there to talk to you. I know it's not easy to talk to because mental health also ties in with the social part. If you're not a very good talker, then having to speak to somebody that you may not know or somebody you may know may be very, very hard. But just make sure that everything's okay. Put your priorities first. Make sure that you yourself are okay, because at the end of the day, if you're not okay, then it's just not going to be an enjoyable time for you at all. And like Sean said, you can't with the physical health, mental health also plays in very well. You can't say I want to go on a run, but you're feeling really depressed. You have to be in a good mood to want to go on a run, to want to make that change for yourself. So just make sure that with HOSAlistics, with holistics, you make sure everything is in line, that everything's in check, that everything is together. Because if not, then it could crumble. But it's also in your control. So don't feel scared. Don't feel ashamed. There's always somebody that's going to be there to help you. And I think that's the best I can say it is. Just make sure you're out there, have somebody to talk to, and make sure it's a want. You have to want it to have it. You have to put in the effort. You have to want to do these things. And it's really not hard. I just think you should just keep that in the back of your head.
And kind of with that, a piece of advice that I also have is that holistic health doesn't have to be like a solo thing. It doesn't have to be something that you're doing by yourself. You can, actually, not even you can, I would suggest that you build a community of like-minded people. You can have a team where it can just be just you and a friend. It can be you and a whole friend group. But having a team of people that also have the same goal as you of living holistically, it makes it 10 times easier. because it tackles the whole motivation hurdle that a lot of people experience when they're trying to live holistically healthy. Because you're not gonna have to think, oh well, I know I should go on a run today, but I don't feel like it. Because you have your team right there, and they're gonna tell you, no, you need to do this because you made a commitment. And it doesn't only apply to physical health, it applies to the rest of them. Because having a team, you're already taking care of the social part because you're communicating with that team consistently, you're talking with them, making sure that you guys are with check with your holistic health practices. With mental health, it won't exactly like save you 100%, but it definitely will make the burden a little bit easier because you're going to be surrounded by a community of positivity that has the same goals as you. So you're not going to have to feel as if, oh, well, this may be a niche interest that no one's interested in, because you have a team of people that are all interested in the same thing that you're interested in. So just, you don't have to go about it, you don't have to go about it alone because you have people that can help you out. And did you want to say something?
No, I think we hit mainly all the parts. If I were to add something, I would basically say that we see a bunch of holistics in our everyday lives. We see people go to the gym together. That's part of holistics. They're a group that all want the same goal. You see people go, for example, when you see people go train together, maybe it's basketball, football, or soccer, just any sport or anything in general. That's a part of holistics as well. Those people all have the same goal to keep each other in check. And like you said, it doesn't have to be a group. It could just be a partner. But just having somebody there tackles a bunch of the key factors of holistics and will help you overcome a bunch of maybe your fears or setbacks when regarding holistics.
I'm totally with that. Like, just like I said, it's just so important that you have people, because you can do it alone. And I can definitely attest to that. You can do it alone, of course, and you're still going to get just the same results, if not even better. But it just makes it easier for you if you have a team. And we can hit the action point of mental health. And the main thing about mental health, which is what I was trying to get into earlier, is that you got to combine everything that you're learning, everything that you're doing from the rest of the pillars to attend to mental health. So with physical health, exercising regularly can help with your mental health because your connection, like with outside, you're getting all the vitamins that you may need that you can absorb from sunlight or just being outside or whatever. That can help your mental health because being outside, I'm not going to say this for everyone because some people just don't like being outside. But for most people, being outside is really a stress reliever, especially if it's calm, if you're just in nature, or if there's no distractions. With, what is it called? With emotional and spiritual health, participating in mindfulness activities such as journaling, that is a great way to also help with this mental health aspect. Because journaling, believe it or not, it actually works. I know it may, does anyone here journal? Or at least tried to journal before?
I've tried to journal.
You want to talk a little bit about journaling before I wrap it?
I could just say a quick example of when I used to journal. Basically, I started to journal thinking that my social health wasn't really up there. I thought that I had nobody. So when I started to journal, it helped me a lot. Just seeing what my thoughts on paper, and it just helped me look at my emotions and what to do to better myself and be happy.
And to add on to that, journaling can help because in your mind you have a whole bunch of thoughts running around. You're thinking about one thing, you're also thinking about another at the same time. And being able to get those thoughts on paper can have you really look at it and help you formulate your thoughts better and decide what you want to do.
Mm-hmm. Riley, did you want to say anything about journaling?
I just said that journaling for me really helps with my mindfulness, writing things down that I know to be true. It sounds really basic, but just taking time to write down all the things that you're grateful for in life. That can help me get out of a depression really quickly. And writing down all of my motivations for life, my motivating factors, what do I want to accomplish? It really helps me get out of funks and it's a really great way to just put on paper exactly how you're feeling.
Yeah, and the way it kind of plays into what was I gonna say? The way it kind of plays into like the phrase bottling up your feelings. That is something that's not good for you. We all know that. But journaling is kind of like having a calendar. And I'm sure everyone that's like busy would definitely understand that having a calendar helps you out with anything that you may be struggling with. So keeping deadlines, having events down. Like I'm someone that's like huge. Like on Google Calendar, that is like my thing. Because Google Calendar, it helps me keep everything that I have going on for a day in one place. So I'm not like forgetting like, oh my gosh, I'm about to miss this meeting that I have at like 6:30. Like no, it's just right there. And that kind of is what journaling is like. Journaling, it's a safe place for you to put whatever you may be thinking. And when I say whatever, you can literally put whatever you may be thinking, because it's not like you're journaling for someone else, like you're doing it for an assignment. No, this is like literally whatever you want, because it's your journal. And you get to put if you're feeling happy, if you're feeling sad, however you may be feeling, you can just write about it. And not only does it help with the sort of self-reflection that plays into holistic health, but it also can be a way of holding on to memories, because you can always look back to this journey. Like, let's say I started writing in freshman year, let's just say. And when I'm in my sophomore year of college, I'm looking back to my old things and I'm like, hey, what's this doing here? And I'm just looking back to my journal and it's like, wow, I can actually also look at all these memories of my life that I have. It really is nice how journalists can also come full circle into your life.
Yeah.
Journaling can basically be like a calendar for your thoughts, and being able to look back on it and see how you were thinking back then and how you're thinking now is very, very fascinating and interesting.
Yeah, I like what Sean said about like coming back to whatever you wrote like in freshman year or whatever, because one time I went back to my journaling and just like seeing my growth like really made me like happy and think like, wow, I actually like did something and like now I'm in a happier state.
Well, I think we definitely hit on mental health the most out of everything, but that's all we have for our pillars. So after looking at the 4 pillars of of holistic health, there may be some questions, like questions of how to get started, advice on how to get like started with holistic health, what some things may mean, like terms that we may have used in the presentation, or just anything that y'all may have. So I'm gonna leave it open for like 5 or so minutes if y'all want to put anything in chat. If you may be just wondering, just anything y'all may have, we are all here to answer. So we'll leave that open for about like 5 minutes, and then we'll get into what we have for closing remarks.
Sean, did you plan that Kahoot for them to do at the end, or?
We got that planned for a different time. So.
All right, no problem.
A little bit spoiler alert, so y'all stay tuned.
Yeah, a little my fault, guys. A little spoiler. Just have to make sure. My fault.
It's cool.
Just have to make sure.
Cool. So we'll get that like 5 minutes or so, and then we'll get into closing. I would do the YouTube Q&A thing. Like, you know, y'all know it has like a feature.
Yeah.
We're not at 1K subs, so.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, y'all should subscribe. So if we ever like,
there's one second. There's a question. Would you say that during the time of social media that it has helped or hurt holistic health? All right. I'll answer. I think that personally, during like the time of social media, it probably has hurt. Yeah, it probably has hurt or helped holistic health, and I think it's both. Social media is a place where there's a lot of things you can and you can't control. You can't control what most people say, what most people do, what you. So there's obviously going to be some things that, you know, downplay, and I've seen how much social media takes a toll on people's lives, negatively and positively. It's inspired some people to, you know, go out, go do something with their life. do something good, and it's also made some people think bad about themselves, think less of themselves, be unmotivated to go do things, or like, oh, I'm not good enough. So yeah, I do think that social media completely helped and hurt.
Uh, I would like to contribute to the fact that it can also be good to holistic health because, for example, during COVID-19, people weren't allowed to really go out and talk to other people, but through
Yeah.
social media, they were able to connect and benefit that aspect, that social life, have a social life during.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. There's another question. Many people say that our generation is the worst with mental health. Would you say that we are actually worse, or we have just been able to talk about it more and spread the word? So, I'll leave this one open to everyone else, but I'll say a little bit. Yeah, I think our generation probably is the worst with mental health. Because everyone has this kind of standard that they want to meet for their own self, whether it's, I mean, I can't speak on the standards themselves, but everyone has a standard for themselves. I also think that it's because people think it's embarrassing or funny or kind of weird to talk about mental health. I don't think that at all. I think it's something that people should talk about more frequently because of how much of an issue it is in today's society. That really ties back with the social media, that since a lot of our teenagers and a lot of our young adults are on social media, they are affected mentally a lot by the things that they see. And I don't think, even if it's positively or negatively, I don't think it's talked about enough. And I would completely say that our generation is the worst with mental health.
And Nyala, do you want to say anything? Because I know we've got too quiet for a little bit. So.
I feel like social media has mostly contributed to how our generation is with mental health, because sometimes teenagers will compare themselves to people they see on social media and be like, oh, I want to be like them, and then put themselves down. And that's just really negative. But social media can also be helpful to foster new relationships with other people. So it's just very split.
And,
What is the best way? Go on, Sean.
I would say about the question about if our generation is worse about it or if we've been spreading it, I would definitely say that our generation, I wouldn't say that we're worse with mental health, because although our world may be just crazy, I mean, y'all see everything that's going on with the news, but I think all in all, I think we've been just talking about mental health a lot more, because it's like we're in an age of connection where we've been able to talk about things, we've been able to spread word like never before. Like, compare in the 1980s to today, like how we would be able to spread a message about mental health. And that's really an insane jump. Like, y'all, we wouldn't even be able to think about some of the apps that we mainly use today. They didn't even exist at the time. So I think as a generation, we've just been spreading what we have going on with mental health a lot more, and it may put a more negative light on what it is in general, because people are sharing about mental health, and some good, some bad, but we also have to think about the bad too. So everything that's being shared, that is still a lot more than what was ever shared before.
All right, so we have an interesting question. How do you think culture impacts holistic health, and how do we implement it? I really have to think about this question, honestly. I saw it and I couldn't answer it off the top of my head. It's something I really have to think about. Does anyone else have anything else to say about that? Like, to answer that question? How culture impacts holistic health?
I would say that it's not, holistic health isn't something that would infringe upon culture, right? Because when you're living life, right? Okay, well, I wouldn't say when you're living life, but when you are part of a culture, it's typical that you're probably going to have traditions or values that you have to uphold, right? But with holistic health isn't really it's not like a culture in itself. It's more of an ideology or a means of thinking about how you live your life that you're going to implement. So it's not like when you're thinking of holistic health, you shouldn't think of it as something that can infringe upon your culture or like pre-established values. It's more of, oh, I'm already living my life the way that I live it. Now let me see if I can take a couple steps more to make my life better. That's at its root. That's basically what holistic health is. And
Yeah, I think it's like a way of thinking more than like, I don't know, like going against a culture. Like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, basically.
There was a
I
question.
totally agree.
There's a question before that said, "What is the best way to stay consistent while trying to improve on holistic health?" One piece of advice that I would give is to have a group of like-minded people around you, also trying to improve their holistic health. Because doing that you guys will hold each other accountable and be able to help each other on a journey. Let's say you don't want to go out on a run one day, and the whole group's going on a run. You just don't want to go. Those group of people might come to you and convince you to go, and it might be beneficial at the end of the day. So I would say having a group of like-minded people around you greatly helps you stay consistent when trying to improve your holistic health.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Having a group of like-minded people is kind of something that contributes to that. I think all of us here, or all of us on this call, are mainly surrounded by like-minded people. The program that we attend, we are kind of surrounded by people that have the same goals as us, whether we want to be doctors or we want to be biomedical engineers. We all have a similar goal, and it's to be successful. And I think all of us in each of our respective classes hold each other accountable. And by making those friends in each of our classes, I think that's a way that we improve holistic health, talking socially. And we can just continue to build off of that. So having a group of like-minded people, I totally agree with that, is one way to help out with your holistic health.
Mm-hmm. And then definitely when you're talking about trying to stay consistent, if y'all want to become an avid Google Calendar user like me, trust me, it's not as bad as it seems, but setting apart time to actually participate in physical health things, well, not physical health, holistic health in general is actually what the question was asking. But if you're doing certain activities, setting a schedule is what is really going to save. I mean, that's really what saved me. Like, what I actually did, I would go on Google Calendar and set apart time for when I wake up in the morning, I'm gonna spend so and so time getting ready, like waking up, brushing my teeth, all that, and then I have a certain time set for me going on a run. And that, me just setting that event at least helps my mind to see that somewhere around the ballpark of this time, I am going to participate in an activity that is going to actively contribute to my holistic health.
And for that, with like social, I feel like it's so easy to cancel on like a hangout with your friends. But like you want to try and stay consistent with like being social. You don't want to like cancel. You want to like, because once you hang out, then you'll feel like good that you went, and you feel like better about yourself. Spending time with people that support you and want to be around you.
Yeah, I agree completely with that, but I did want to touch on something real quick. Somebody in the chat said, and what I've seen, different cultures do not approve of things such as therapy or things that go along with holistic health. Yeah, I completely missed like that type of side. Some cultures do not approve of things like therapy, and I think you should, if it benefits you, you should break away from that kind of stigma. You should explore. You should do what's right for you. It's kind of like saying if a culture said you can't. I mean, I'm trying to think of an example. I can't really think of a great one, but it's basically saying if a culture said you can't do something that's beneficial to you, would you or would you not do it? Now, culture is something that a lot of people respect, and I understand. But at the end of the day, it's your choice. If you want what's better for you, I think personally, you should kind of break that stigma and go seek some therapy or go try and talk to somebody or not be afraid. You know, holistic health is something that can only benefit you. So at the end of the day, it's for your betterment, and I think you should keep that in the back of your mind.
Yeah, totally. So
I feel like
you can go now.
I feel like many children grow up in households where their parents just like they discourage them from feeling their true emotions, and then as they grow older, they just suppress all those emotions, and it's really harmful for their mental health. So I think people who grew up in those households should just really try try and focus on themselves and just focus on their mental health.
I'm totally with that. I do agree with everything that you guys said, and I hope whoever asked the question, Alan and Tifa, I really hope that answered you guys' questions. And I think initially I thought that went over time, but I think we're actually exactly where we need to be. So with that, that is going to bring us to our final thing on the agenda, the closing remarks that we have before we are done with this stream. So kind of looking into the future for our initiative, we're looking at the rest of the events that we have. So on February, let me make sure I have the day correct. On February 7th, we are planning to have our nutrition night for about an hour from 7 to 8 at Sarah Babb Recreation Center. And on February 15th, we are planning to have our HOSAlistic 5K from about 12 to 1:30 at White Oak Park. So if that interests you guys in any magnitude, please consider showing up. But
with that, guys, go on, Sean.
no, you
I
can
mean,
go.
to-
You can go.
Yeah, and with the 5K, I mean, to come, you can benefit your physical health. You could go on a run. You could benefit your social health. You can talk to some new people. You can meet some new people. And yeah, I think it'll be beneficial overall.
Yeah. They also with the nutrition night, that's also working on your diet. So we're really setting up these starters for you guys if you want to start up with the holistic health. And we just ask that you come. It's completely optional, but we do encourage you to come and make sure that you show love, support. We will be there, and we'll just be able to help you and guide you out. So, Sean, if you want to finish it off, go ahead.
Yeah, so there's that. And then for the rest of our events, considering our outreach, we're going to be having our, if I'm not, Burnt Hickory Elementary School. We're going to be having that from 8 to 9, where we give a presentation to elementary school students about how to implement mindfulness into their lives and what mindfulness actually means. And on February 10th, we are going to be going to Moses Middle School to give them a presentation about specifically the mental health pillar of holistic health. And I think now that we've covered all the events that we have for our initiative, I think that about wraps it up. So
All right, well,
I do want to say thank you all so much. Every single one of you who joined the stream, I just want to say thank you so much for joining. Like, it really does mean the world to us, and it's going to help us tremendously with our competition. So
yes, we all say very much thank you all. Thank you so much, guys. We hope you have a great night. We will catch you soon.
Thank you.
Have a good night, everybody.
Bye, guys.
all right, y'all have a good night.